My name is Adela Smith, and I am 27 years old. I still remember the exact smell of that morning: cheap car air freshener and silence. The kind of silence that sits between people who have already decided something without telling you. I was in the back seat of my parents' car, watching streetlights blur past the window, thinking today was supposed to be different. It was my 18th birthday. I had gone to sleep the night before with that quiet, cautious hope you carry when you have spent your whole childhood waiting for one moment. Just one where your family looks at you like you belong to them. I woke up to my mother telling me to pack a bag. Not a big one, just enough for a few days, she said. I thought maybe we were going somewhere for a celebration. I got dressed quickly. I did not ask questions. I had learned early that asking questions in that house led nowhere good. My father drove without the radio on. My mother sat in the passenger seat with her hands folded in her lap, like she was waiting for a church service to begin. I watched the highway signs and realized we were heading toward the airport. My stomach lifted for a second. Maybe a trip. Maybe something they had planned. Maybe they were surprising me after all these years of birthdays that came and went like ordinary Tuesdays. We pulled into the departures lane, and my father put the car in park. He did not turn the engine off. My mother didn't look at me when she reached into her bag. That detail stayed with me longer than anything else. The way her eyes stayed fixed ahead, like even a glance in my direction, might unravel something she had worked hard to hold together. Her fingers moved with quiet certainty, searching past receipts and loose change until they found what they were looking for. When she finally pulled it out, it was just a plain envelope. Nothing remarkable about it. No writing on the outside, no hint of what it carried inside. She extended it toward me without turning her head, as if the act required as little acknowledgement as possible. I remember hesitating before taking it. There was something about the stillness in the car, something heavy and unnatural, like the air had thickened. When I opened the envelope, the paper inside slid out easily, almost too easily, as though it had been waiting for this exact moment. A plane ticket, one way. My eyes scanned the destination, trying to make sense of a place I had never heard spoken aloud in my life. Mill Haven. It sounded small, quiet, distant in more ways than geography. For a few seconds, I said nothing, not because I didn't have questions, but because there were too many all at once. They collided in my chest, tangled and overwhelming. I looked up, first at the back of my mother's head, then at my father through the rearview mirror. That's when he spoke. His voice didn't crack. It didn't hesitate. It carried a strange calm, the kind that only comes from rehearsing something over and over again until the emotion drains out of it completely. "This is your gift," he said. There was a pause, just long enough for the words to settle in the space between us. "Don't come back." My mother didn't react. Not a shift in her shoulders, not a breath that I could see. She stayed facing forward, hands resting in her lap, as though she had stepped outside of the moment entirely. I sat there, holding that ticket, and something inside me gave way. Not all at once, not dramatically, but like a slow collapse. Years of confusion, questions I never knew how to ask, feelings I had buried without understanding them. It all came rushing in, loud and disorienting. No one explained anything. No one turned around. No one softened what had just been said. I picked up my bag because there didn't seem to be another option. My hands felt disconnected from the rest of me, moving on their own as I reached for the door. When I stepped out onto the curb, the air outside hit me differently, cooler, sharper, more real than anything inside that car. I barely had time to stand upright before I heard the engine shift. Tires rolled against pavement, and just like that, they were gone. No goodbye, no hesitation. I didn't even get the chance to watch them disappear properly. I stood there for a moment, trying to understand what had just happened, but understanding didn't come. Not then. It was my birthday, 18, and I was alone outside an airport, holding a one-way ticket to a place that meant nothing to me. I wish I could say I handled it well. I didn't. I walked a few steps, found a bench near the entrance, and sat down hard, like my legs couldn't carry me any farther. And then I cried. Not quietly, not with restraint. It came out of me in waves, uncontrolled and raw. My chest tightened, my shoulders shook, and I couldn't stop it even if I had wanted to. People passed by, some slowing for a second before deciding not to get involved. Others looked away entirely. There's a certain kind of grief that makes people uncomfortable, especially when it belongs to a stranger. Time blurred. I don't know how long I sat there like that, long enough for the intensity to burn itself out, long enough for the tears to run dry. Eventually, something shifted. Not peace, not clarity, just a kind of emptiness, a quiet. The storm had passed, but it hadn't left anything behind. I wiped my face with the sleeve of my jacket, took a slow breath, and stood up. If there was nothing behind me, then there was only one direction left, forward. Inside, everything felt strangely ordinary. People stood in lines, checked their bags, glanced at their phones. No one knew that my entire life had just split open outside those doors. I moved through the process mechanically. Check-in, security, waiting at the gate. I kept looking at the ticket, as if it might offer some explanation if I stared long enough. It didn't. When they called boarding, I stood up with everyone else. No hesitation this time, just motion. The flight itself passed quickly. Too quickly, maybe. I didn't sleep. I didn't think much either. I just sat there, watching the world drift by outside the window, feeling suspended between two versions of my life, one that had ended without warning, and one that hadn't fully begun. When we landed, the airport was small, smaller than I expected. It didn't feel like a place people arrived at to start something big. It felt quiet, almost hidden. I walked through the arrivals area slowly, scanning faces without really knowing what I was looking for. And then I saw her. At first, I almost missed her. She stood off to the side, holding a piece of paper with my name written in thick, uneven letters. Just my name. No last name, no extra detail. Something about that stopped me in my tracks. She was older, her posture slightly bent, her frame small but steady. When her eyes met mine, there was no confusion, no question, just recognition. And then she smiled. It wasn't polite, it wasn't cautious. It was something deeper, something that carried relief in it, like she had been holding her breath for a very long time and could finally let it go. I walked toward her slowly, unsure of what I was stepping into. Before I could say anything, she spoke. "Your grandfather has been waiting 18 years to tell you the truth." The words didn't make sense right away. Grandfather? Truth? Those weren't things I had ever associated with my life, and yet, here she was, holding my name like it mattered. Her name was Rosalie. When she took my hand, her grip was warm and steady, the kind that grounded you without forcing anything. She didn't overwhelm me with questions or explanations. She simply led me outside to an old truck parked near the curb. The drive was quiet, not uncomfortable, just quiet in a way that felt intentional. I watched the landscape change as we moved farther from the airport. The world opened up, fields stretching wide, trees lining long roads, a kind of space I had never experienced before. It felt unfamiliar, and yet there was something about it that stirred a strange feeling in my chest. Not quite recognition, but close. When we turned onto a gravel road lined with tall trees, something shifted again, the sound of the tires crunching beneath us, the rhythm of it. It felt like entering a place that had been waiting, even if I didn't understand why. At the end of that road was a house, old but cared for, white paint, a deep porch, flowers growing in neat beds along the front. It didn't feel abandoned or forgotten. It felt lived in, loved. And sitting on that porch was a man. He was watching us, waiting. When the truck came to a stop, I hesitated for just a second before opening the door. The air felt different here, softer. When I stepped out and he saw me clearly, something changed in his face. His eyes closed briefly, his jaw tightening like he was holding something back. When he opened them again, they were filled with something I couldn't name yet. He said my name, just once. But the way he said it, like it carried weight, like it meant something, told me everything I needed to know. I had been missed, deeply, for a very long time. His name was Walter Kane, and from that moment on, nothing in my life would ever be the same.